Nation, today is Thursday, the 25th day of January 2024. I hope you're safe and healthy today, and that your family's safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter and clothing as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who along with the first responders are every day risking their lives to save lives, and those that pick up garbage for us to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries of mail and food and water and other important things for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children who are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People who are also the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography and child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts of these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, increasingly senior citizens over 65, that are homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in either similar or even worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Tonight, there's a basketball game at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks are taking on the Denver Nuggets at MSG. This is going to be a test game for the Knicks. And of course, at this point in the season, the games become more and more and more critical. Last night, actually, the Knicks did not even play, and yet it was a good night for the Knicks. You say, well, how did that happen? Well, first of all, Cleveland lost last night. And also Miami. That was a surprise. Miami lost last night. Now Cleveland lost in Milwaukee. Okay, so that's not, that shouldn't be a big surprise. Milwaukee is Milwaukee. I couldn't believe when somebody actually said, one knucklehead that gets too much money and too much press because you don't know what he's talking about, said, well, at the beginning of the year, nobody was thinking Milwaukee was a championship contender. I was like, seriously? Like they weren't a championship contender with Drew Holiday and the Freak? Anyway, Milwaukee beat Cleveland last night in Cleveland. And so Miami lost at home to the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the interesting thing about that is the Memphis Grizzlies were without, let's see, Derrick Rose, Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart, John Morant, Brandon Clark, and of course Steven Adams. They're all out. The only regular player they had, their rotation player, was Jarrett Jackson Jr. Everybody else was either bench pieces or G League pieces. In fact, it was mentioned last night, they played more G League players than almost any other team in the league. And they beat Miami, full strength Miami, in Miami with Scary Terry. So anyway, as that being the case, right now, as we wake up this morning, the Knicks are virtually tied for the fourth seed with Cleveland. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 5/1000th of percentage point ahead of the Knicks. Their winning percentage is 61-19. The Knicks is 61-14. But basically, both 7 games back of first place Boston, virtually tied for the fourth seed, and a 3-game cushion, at least for now, over Miami, who is the 6th seed, tied with Indiana, and a 7-game cushion over the 8th seed, Orlando Magic. So if you recall, Magic at one point this season was in the top 4 of the East, and I didn't think it was sustainable. Not because they're not a good team. They really are a good team. It's just that they're a young team, and every team going in the rise in the NBA has to go through their growing pains, and they have to develop, and they have to learn how to close games and win tight games, and that's what they're doing now. So Orlando's about where I expect them to be in the play-in talk and pushing toward trying to get into the 6th seed. Still a lot of games left to play, so we don't know what's going to happen. But right now, the New York Knicks are sitting pretty nice, tied for the 4th seed. So tonight, playing Denver. Denver is at full strength. Okay, Denver's at full strength. They got all their guys. Their guys are healthy. I think the only injury that they're dealing with, who is it? It's not even I think it's a rookie. I think the only injury they're dealing with right now is, they got Reggie Jackson day-to-day, toe sprain. And they got Julian Strother, nice player, nice shooter out of Gonzaga. And he's out, knee issue. But other than that, their starting 5, is intact. They got Jamal Murray, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and of course the Joker. They're using DeAndre Jordan off the bench at the 5. Christian Braun, another guy they drafted. And I really respect and admire the Denver Nuggets from top to bottom. Calvin Booth is their executive, the top executive. As we know, Michael Malone, son of Brendan Malone, coming out of New York, is their head coach. Michael Malone, as an example, all of you knuckleheads that don't understand the NBA, Mike Malone's been hired and fired. He's been to different teams. He's paid his dues in the league. Come out of New York. He went to Sacramento. I think he was a head coach and fired. He went to Golden State. He had been a lot of places. And then he finally got a shot at Denver. You combine his knowledge and experience with the expertise of the front office. And what happened now? They drafted and developed the Joker. They drafted and developed Michael Porter Jr. They drafted and developed Jamal Murray. They added to that trades for KCP and Aaron Gordon. They added to that a draft pick in Christian Braun out of Kansas and Julian Strawther also. They get a free agent in Reggie Jackson, and you put it together and you got a chip, which is what they got. Okay, the Knicks are on the same path. All right. So again, when you look longer term and not just at last night's game, you start to understand the bigger picture. And that's how you got to look at the squad. And I really admire how the Denver Nuggets have put their team together. And they got Jokic in the second round, similar to the Knicks getting Mitchell Robinson in the second round. See? So you got to have good scouting. You got to understand what you're drafting, why you're drafting a player, how they fit in your culture and system that you're trying to develop. So, for example, people still pining for Miles Bridges. Don't know what they're talking about. Doesn't fit the culture. Doesn't fit the spirit of the locker room. Doesn't fit what the Knicks are trying to do. Okay? That's why you don't want that. A player like a Jamal Murray, not Jamal Murray, DeJounte Murray, doesn't fit. He needs the basketball. They already got 2 guys that need the basketball. They just traded one in RJ Barrett that needs the basketball. So you don't want another guy that demands the ball so that you want your guy Brunson to play off the ball. It's stupid. Brunson is your guy. Okay? So you got to look and see what fits. Mikal Bridges, he fits. Okay? In multiple ways. So when we're throwing names out, understand, some people I guess will never get it, but you got to understand culture and fit. All right? So that's why the Knicks wouldn't be getting DeJounte Murray. They wouldn't be getting him. Okay. Now, also, the Knicks drafted. Now, when the Don came on board, he inherited some pieces. He inherited Mitchell Robinson. He inherited Julius Randle. He inherited RJ Barrett. He inherited those pieces. Of those pieces he inherited, he has 2 of the 3. RJ Barrett didn't fit. It's not that RJ Barrett is a bad basketball player. He's a really good basketball player and I think going to be really even better. But he didn't fit with Julius Randle. So you have to make a choice. Is it RJ or is it Julius? Well, they chose Julius because he's an All-NBA and an All-Star. And you got him. You got him now locked up. So now you sent Barrett and you replaced him with a piece that fits OG Anunoby. Okay? You went and you got a winner and a leader for his whole basketball life in Jalen Brunson. That even myself and few other people knew how good this guy was going to be. I knew he was good. I didn't think he was this good. And then even when I saw him in the playoffs drop 40, I knew he could play. But $100 million, now it's a bargain. But that's drafting, scouting, and understanding what fits in your system. Okay? So now you got Grimes and Deuce that were drafted by you. That was drafted in Leon Rose, and y'all ready to toss them away for anything, for a bag of chips. Okay? We don't need Kyle Lowry. He doesn't fit because he'd have to play in front of either Deuce or Grimes. No, sir. No. Okay? I don't give a crap about the Villanova connection. That ain't enough. We got our dudes. And then, if you're not playing them 2, if you're not, then you got to play Malachi Flynn. So the current state of the Knicks is we really are complete. We have our team. We just need to have two things. We need to get MitchRob back healthy and Hartenstein, which probably he'll be out today. So the Knicks are going to be at a disadvantage with the Denver Nuggets at full strength, and us, and their biggest strength is at the 5, and us weakest at the 5. But aside from that, we can't. I wish that the Knicks Nation would stop looking at short-term microwave solutions. That you should be looking at long-term solutions that will make us a long-term sustainable winner. Long-term solutions means you don't diss Deuce and Grimes for Kyle Lowry. You don't diss Grimes to try to get DeJounte Murray because he's a big name on NBA 2K. You don't diss your guys that you develop for Malcolm Brogdon, who's had problems, both physical problems and attitude problems with several teams. He wanted to start, and he can't play a full season. He's never going to start for New York. Okay? You got your team. You just have to let them develop. So this old talk about we need bench scoring, we have bench scoring. We just have to allow them to develop into the optimal bench scoring. And they've showed flashes of that already this year. Okay? When they're given the minutes, they produce. In the game against Brooklyn, they didn't score a lot, but I tell you what, that defense on the second unit is what held the Nets down and then allowed the first unit to come back in and start playing at a high level. Tom said the second unit inspired the first unit. They scored 38 points the game before that. So we need to calm down on all of this transaction-oriented business and understand we got our team. Once Mitchell Robinson comes back healthy, and if Tom Thibodeau keeps playing the bench unit, the minutes he's played them for the last 2 games, there's going to be hell to pay for the NBA out in New York. So tonight's going to be a tough game. The Knicks win this game tonight, that says a lot. By all rights, they should lose this game. Again, Denver's strongest at the 5. MVP, Nikola Jokic, is at the 5. Hall of Fame player, Jamal Murray, coming out of Kentucky, tough. And then, of course, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, tough. KCP, tough. Okay, so we got OG. Yep. Randall's going to have to guard somebody. Okay, I'm not sure if it's going to be Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, but he's going to have to guard somebody. OG, we're not worried about. Whoever we put on, probably going to put OG on Jamal Murray. Okay, but you still got Jericho and Precious got to guard the Joker. Tough assignment. Then on the other side of the ball, somebody got to guard Jalen Brunson. We're going to have a battle tonight. The Knicks are not going to just roll over for these guys. Okay, so it's going to be a battle. But it's going to be tight. Of course, I'm a Knicks fan, so we're looking for a W. You all enjoy the game. Enjoy your Thursday. Be safe out there. Sure.